Regular meeting of the Board of Education, August 17th, 2015. Give a roll call, Mrs. Trino.
Okay, Simmons. Here. Odom. Here. Carroll. Marks. Present. Perez.
Here, and a quorum is present. First on the agenda, we have audience comments, and we have L. Dawson, who has asked to speak. So please go ahead.
Can you come up here to the podium, please? Thank you.
My name is Lisa Dawson. My concerns tonight, which were addressed earlier today by, I believe, Ms. Nancy Wilson. My concerns with the bus, I have two toddlers, well, after I 4 hours here last year all at once. And they're in the school district, and the problem with the bus, I believe last year the bus was trying to pick them up at 6:05. Today, I was brought to my attention that it was 7:05. The school for her didn't start until 8:30, and she had to be in restraints to live less than 2 miles here, right there off Dixie. And that was just too much for her now. So therefore, I began to take her in the car myself. This year I can't because one will be at Western and the other one will be over at Baltimore. And so therefore I was concerned because I reached out all last year and it didn't anything happen for me. And so now I've been reaching out, I've been asking them today. I was told that they would have asked us to come Wednesday.
On Wednesday, there'll be a finalization. I believe Ms. Wilson had stated today to be around between 7:20 and 7:30 to pick up.
Okay. Because two of them, they're going 2 separate ways. It's actually going to be 4. It's 3 in preschool and the other is one over in Western kindergarten. And it's just impossible this year to take it. And to think that for us to probably go 2 miles in restraints and be on the bus for an hour and a half, I just felt like that was too much for her. But I can't do it this year, so I was trying to find out what could happen for me before that. And I appreciate you guys reaching out and doing that.
Cool.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Appreciate it.
Are there any other comments? Okay. Before we move on to the superintendent's report, I would just like to take a moment to honor our superintendent who has become a doctor, as well as our Heather Hill principal, Patricia Fear. Congratulations. For you, and it is a great thing for the district as well. Thank you very much for your hard work and dedication. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Esser.
Thank you. Before I start my report, our last board meeting was on July 13th, and during that time, we had a staff member pass away, Olivia Parker. She was a right group paraprofessional at Flossmoor Hills, and she passed away on July 5th. We could take a moment of silence. I would appreciate it, and then I will start my report. Thank you very much. I'm going to start out with enrollment numbers, and we will bring those up. It's a little hard to see if we're trying, this is a tentative number count thus far. The numbers will change every day as they have been for about the last 6 weeks, and I definitely appreciate Mr. Bella putting all this together and the work of our district office staff and our other building staff that have been assisting with registration this year. But at this point, we have 2,274 students who have registered and verified their residency. So we have another 123 right now that we're waiting for to come in. To do that, if all 123 of those students come back, we will be at a grand total for the school year of 2,397. That's about 50 students more than what we had last year. So we will wait to see the numbers that do come in. And I want the Board of Education to know that there's different reports that I've received on that, and we will continue to keep the board updated. But right now, our classes are fully staffed. Our students and our teachers are ready. They've been in the classrooms, prepared, and been working hard. So we really appreciate that as well. Second thing, we had our data retreat on August 3rd with our teachers, and what they did is they're preparing for their school improvement plan, which will take place, that'll be presented either the September COW meeting or October, more than likely be the September committee hall meeting. And since August, we've been having several FIU classes for professional learning opportunities. Ms. Kubis was there today actually teaching, so we appreciate all that, and that's allowing our teachers to get that professional development that they've seen. August 19th will be the first day for staff. They will be reporting to the buildings. In the past, I know Board of Education, we always went to the college and we had everyone there. There was a request at some meetings that we had where the teachers would go in right away and start working in the building. So on Wednesday and Thursday, that is what will be taking place. And that's going to be a series of faculty meetings and articulation time, curriculum mapping, working on IEPs, etc. And then on Friday, that will be the first day of school for the students on August 21st. And that will be a full day. I just want to remind the board at the beginning of the year, this always happens, there's two things. It gets hot. So we have all of our heat plans ready for our students. Principals are prepared. There are cooling stations in all the schools. And then number two, our buses. So until the bus drivers get the routine down, I ask that the community is patient with us, and if any board members receive any calls, please let them know we're patient. We want to know right away in my office, and we'll get those resolved immediately. All of my principals this summer have been working extremely hard, and I'm very, very proud of them and what they've done as far as preparing for the buildings. I do want to mention Mr. Kennedy, though. He came into our district at July 1st. He was here before he actually worked for us, and he attended our discipline town meeting that we had. He has been diligent, talking with teachers, with me a lot in regards to this and other things, my cabinet, community members. He's setting things up to assist with the discipline program. What he has shown me so far, I'm extremely impressed with. There's new handbook language that you've already seen, you've looked at. If you have answered a few questions on that, we're asking for approval. That is something we're going to continue to work on with the staff. On the first day of school, we will be having a meeting at Parker, which will include some of my cabinet members and myself, Mr. Kennedy, his administration, and we'll have some association members there. And we're going to talk about the importance of the community role of discipline in the school and how important it is. So that will take place. After that has been completed, we will then have a training that will take place all day at the community. So that'll be good to see. On August 31st, there will be a PowerPoint presentation to the Board of Education that we, as an FYI, that it will be the program that we are implementing. And the program that we're implementing is basically balanced discipline. It deals with traditional discipline, and it has some restorative justice. We're also going to be doing a study this year in our executive committee, which involves teachers and administrators, and what they're going to do is study restorative justice and what we can do and how that adapts to employment culture. That will take place, and we will be adding more of those things as we continue to grow. Our emphasis this year will be Parker Junior High School. There will be a few elementaries that will be piloting, and we hope that we will learn from what we do in Parker this year and implement that more into our elementaries next year. So our concern with something discipline has been Parker Junior High School. So, Mr. Kennedy, all my principals, assistant principals, thank you very much. Next, I'd like to thank all of our summer staff for all of the work that they've done. The buildings are looking really good. We have everyone here who has been working with registration. We really appreciate that as well. Our technology is up to par, and we finished today putting the monitor in at the junior high, so I want to say thank you. Next one, summer construction project completion. Flossmoor Hills and Spring Hills has been completed. If you want to go there with me or you want to drive by and see the construction, It really looks nice. All of our buildings now, I'm very pleased and very comfortable where we are. We've done a lot over the last 3 years in regards to our facility plan and our capital development plan as far as our facilities. So we're good to go. We have to do little things, but most of the big things have to be completed. And then Parker will, we're already open there, and staff are in. We still have a couple classrooms that has some boxes in them, and we're addressing them. And the teachers of education is not working with us. And lastly, we have the Parker ribbon cutting ceremony. It is on August 27th, and it'll be at 6:15. Open house is at 7 o'clock that evening. So what we will do, the program is here. We're starting to invite people now. You'll see some emails if you haven't, but they're going out. But we'll have a welcome comments by Board President Paredes. We have comments from Mr. Kennedy about the school. Mr. Regal or Mr. Guy will be talking about the design a little bit. And then I have order recognition plaques for people who have been involved with it, and we'll be handing out those names. So if you haven't responded back to Ms. Carino, please do so. We'd like you to be there for that. And then we'll have the ribbon cutting exercise for the board will be there, and then we'll have other community members come up. After that's completed, they can quickly tour as they walk through to go to the big gym, and then they can come back after open house or go through. But it's going to be an exciting time for the school district. I think almost everyone has been in there to see it that's on the board, but it is beautiful, it is conservative, it's very practical, and now all of our teachers have an instructional space to teach in, and it also leaves options open for us in the future if we need. So I hope to see everyone there. It starts at 6:15, so please be there no later than 6:05, 6:10. Are there any questions?
Next, we move to consent agenda. I make a motion to accept. I make a motion to approve the consent agenda items listed below. We have minutes of the regular board meeting of education, July 13th, 2015, and executive session meetings, July 13th, 2015, as well as the appointment of independent hearing officers.
So moved.
Mrs. Fredo, roll call.
This includes gifts.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I miss that? Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. This also includes gifts, district PTO, partial reimbursement of retiring teachers gets $200 reimbursement to district for outdoor education scholarship, $2,500, and Homewood Church backpacks filled with school supplies, $750. Yes, thank you for bringing that to my attention.
The first two gifts are gifts from the district PTO, correct?
That is correct. One is reimbursement for outdoor education, and then the other one is a reimbursement for teacher retirement gifts from last school year.
Mrs. Fredo, could roll call?
Okay, Odom? Yes. Simmons?
Yes.
Marks? Yes. Ford? Yes. Paredes?
Yes, the motion has passed. Next on the agenda, we have information action items. First one is the approval of the bills. And this month, I believe, was reviewed by Mrs. O.
Yes. And sorry.
I make a motion to approve the bill in the amount of $1,006,723.87.
Mrs. Orr, first,
Yes.
second?
I thought this is
Oh, you made the motion, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, you did that one now. Second.
Okay.
Can we roll call, please?
Okay, Marks?
I'm sorry. Sure. Did you have a question?
Yes, I do. So the bills for this month include the November tri-conference, so that's 4, and it states that I accounted four members attending the tri-conference for a total of $1,600. And then 4 hotel rooms. What's the detail of those hotel rooms? Is that 1 night or 2 for the 4 board members? I'm assuming they have 4 board members.
Hold on, I don't have that in front of me.
That's $800 in Chicago.
Pay for hotels in advance of the stay, are they non-refundable?
When you register for the tri-conference, you purchase hotel rooms and the registration. Those are the one.
The hotels are booked through the conference or separate?
To go through the conference through ISB, they give us choices of who or which places you want, and then it chooses. So the Chicago Marriott is the choice.
Do they have a negotiated rate?
Yeah, negotiated rate, yes.
Does that answer your question?
No, I wanted to know if they were for 1 night or 2 nights, if they were for all 4 members of the conference. It's not all that detailed.
They are for 2 nights, which includes 2 nights of lodging and conference.
So 2 nights, so 8 nights of hotel room in Chicago.
Yes.
I just would like to, again, express my great concern with financing hotel rooms 30 miles away from where we all live on the train line for the this whole training day on Friday and on Saturday. I can't speak to that.
Does anyone else have any comments?
What has been done in the past?
In the past, and since you know, this is basically how this works. We're typically Friday, there's conferences. Friday night, we go out to dinner. Saturday morning, there's conferences, which I think the last one is over around 6 o'clock-ish. And then following Sunday, there's conferences that start and workshops that start, I think around 8 o'clock, and typically are over by 5 o'clock, if you attend them all. So it's a convenience for those who attend, that they can stay. It's certainly not something that is out of the ordinary of attending conferences. I appreciate your point of view on, look, you can just take the train back and forth, which the first year I stayed 1 night and then just went back and forth on the train the second evening. That had more to do with it being an event that, or something that I was doing. I may have taken my wife out to dinner. I can't remember exactly what it was. I apologize for her. But this is something that again, it's really a convenience for those who are attending. It gets a little tricky going back and forth on the train. The train doesn't pick you up at your house. So again, I appreciate your point of view. I myself am support paying for a hotel.
You support paying yourself for the hotel bills?
I support the taxpayers of this district paying for the hotel bills for board members who attend.
I understand that you support tax dollars to use the cars during the hours of the owner.
Yes. Are there any other comments? Sabrina, do you roll call?
Okay, Marks?
No.
Odom? Yes. Ford? Yes. Simmons?
No.
Farias?
Yes, and the motion has passed. Next on the agenda, we have approval of payroll. I make a motion to approve payroll in the amount of $465,868.75 for the month of July.
Second.
Odom?
Yes.
Marks? Yes. Ford?
Yes.
Paredes?
Yes, the motion is passed. Next on the agenda, we have approval of PMA Forecast 5 Analytics. I make a motion to approve the agreement with Forecast 5 Analytics for 5-site and 5-cast with a 15-hour advisor package for the 2015-16 school year at the cost of $10,583.
Second.
Mr. Sims, your question?
And last year, so this year, the proposal is to spend $10,500, and last year we spent $17,000.
Yeah, what Forecast 5 they've done is they're changing the model, so the forecasting model. They had it in something that was really driven by Excel, and now they put it into the same engine as the analytics are in. And so anyone who's already subscribed to the analytics and is moving to the forecast model from the projection model we've been using, they've given a $3,500 discount for this year for those who are bundling everything together. So you've got that discount in there. Additionally, the Forecast 5, the analytics piece, was on a September renewal date. They're trying to sync everything up to a July or June or July 1st year. So there's a little bit of a discount there, but it's essentially the same annual price as it was. So you're seeing the $3,500 discount is what you're seeing for the most part. And then a proration of that other fee. And then they'll sync everything up to one renewal date. And at any rate, we'll continue the $3,500 discount moving forward for those of us who purchase everything.
And so instead of this winding up in September of 16 or thereabouts, it'll wind at 30 June 2016.
Correct.
In
So
line
it's
with this
safe.
year.
Exactly. So
So they're
they're
trying to-
everything up. They're going to, just align everything up. And additionally, what this is going to do now is, I was hoping to have PMA in here to do forecast along with the budget. But because we're switching to a new model and it's going on a completely different basis, we're going to probably be put off for a few months. So we're going to use the new model as opposed to the old entry. And we're probably one of the first districts to have that out of the ones who did it as a pilot. So,
Sorry, I'll make a motion second. Yes. You made the motion.
okay, you make a motion. Okay.
So, sorry. Any further questions or comments? We roll call?
Okay, Odom? Yes. Simmons?
Yes.
Marks? Yes. Ford?
Yes.
Paredes?
Yes, and the motion is passed. Next on the agenda, we have approval of discipline policy language, addition to Parker student handbook. Okay, I call for a motion to approve the additional language for the Parker Junior High School handbook that will be noted under discipline guidelines as presented.
Second.
Second, sir. Are there any comments or questions? Can we roll call, Mrs. Brito?
Okay, Simmons?
Yes.
Odom? Yes. Marks? Yes. Ford?
Yes.
Paredes?
Yes, the motion is passed. Next on the agenda, we have approval of strategic plan, vision, and mission statements. I would like to make a motion to approve, or I call for a motion to approve either option 1 or option 2 of the mission statement with modifications as noted. I also call for a motion to approve either option 1 or option 2 of the vision statement with modifications as noted. And I call for a motion to approve the 2015-2020 strategic plan. Would anyone like to discuss this first? Or
I think that it would be appropriate since we are missing two of the board members to table this until we have all the members here to discuss it.
that I can support that? Do you have anyone else who would support it or argue against it doing that?
I'd like to move forward. We've had plenty of time to offer suggestions, and most of them are listed in some of these documents here, so we have time to read through everybody's suggestions. We had administration staff work diligently to aggregate as much of the thinking as possible into several options for consideration, which we've also had time to review. I don't know how much more we can convey. It's rare, it seems, that we have all 7 board members in attendance at a meeting where we can take action. I don't know what everybody's availability looks like, but we're pretty close to the school year here, so those are my thoughts.
Would this have to be tabled until the next board meeting that's in September, or would it be tabled?
It would be tabled until, I believe the next one I believe is
In 2 weeks.
August 31st, so 2 weeks from today. So I myself would be in support of tabling until then, because there's 5. If there were 6, I would be okay with moving forward, but I think this is something that we should have at least 6 people on. I myself am not comfortable with the way either of the options that are presented. I will say that I did like Mr. Simmons' vision statement, the way it's written, and I like Mrs. Ford's mission statement, the way it's written as well. And I think that there are too many, well, yeah. With that, I think we should have, we should look at this next board meeting.
Presuming we have one among members present at that one,
I hope so, I assume.
and if we do not have more than 5 members present at that one meeting,
Well, then I think we'll have to have another discussion. Decide whether we want to go ahead or if we wanted to table it. I think that, this is an unusual time of year because people have time off. So I think that historically there's been less attendance in August or the beginning of August than there has been when school starts. When school starts, people's kids are in school, so they're much more likely to be around.
elected officials are regularly scheduled board meetings.
At this board, I have noticed that people tend to be more infrequent in attending in August, in the beginning of August, than in the end of August. So I think that we are much more likely to have more board members. In fact, I think we're much more likely to have 7 in the next meeting than we are now. If we have 6, I would be okay with that. If we have 5, we can discuss what we want to do because it is approaching the school year. However, I think that this is extremely important, and I think that we should have as many people on board with this as possible, if possible. That's my point of view.
Is it your intent to not only discuss and come to a consensus on this on August 31st, but to then convene a special board meeting so that the board may take action to approve?
If need be, I would be okay with that. I just think that this is something that we only do it once every 5 years. So this is something that we should be very deliberate about. I think we should have 7 if possible, 6 if need be, and hey, if it comes down to 5, we certainly can make that decision.
I only ask this next question because of the fact of the importance of putting the tremendous amount of work that was done by a lot of people on these documents to bed and to get on our execution days. You guys set the agenda several days ago. Did we know we were only going to have 5 people here?
No, I thought there would be 6 tonight. And unfortunately, we had a last minute cancellation from Sunday. Now we have 5. And I'm glad everyone else showed up, because at some point I was a little worried that we wouldn't have a quorum. But I think 5 is great for what we're talking about tonight. 7 is ideal, as it is every week. With this, I would be much more happy if we waited till we get at least to 6. That's just my point.
Can you, for clarification, briefly describe the process?
be? I mean, you have option one and option two, and then suggestions from many of us around the table. So what will be the process to get to this is what the vision and this is what the mission is?
Well, I think that we have to, I think at this point now, if individual board members want to talk to the administration about, look, this is, this particular phrase I think is problematic, or I think that we'd be much better served if we addressed it with this kind of language. I think that's the way we should go, and individual board members can certainly have conversations over the next 2 weeks. I think in 2 weeks, we should have a very clear set of options about what we're voting for. I mentioned that I liked your vision statement out of all the ones I've seen, because I think that that really spoke to criticisms that I had of the existing options. And I liked your mission statement because it very clearly addressed what I thought embodied all of the discussions that happened in the committees that were devoid of, educationally current terms or bad terms. There were things that were very clear and concise. They were not means of concepts that people don't understand, but they were descriptions of things that 4 years down the road, I could see people walking in having a very clear idea of what our vision is and what our mission is.
I have a couple questions. Vision statement, which one did you like?
Mr. Simmons.
Okay, the vision statement from Mr. Simmons, and the mission statement from Ms. Ford.
Yes.
Okay. To get I guess I would ask the rest of the board, after reading through that, is that something that you prefer as well? If there's something that we could vote on tonight, as far as that, I think all the suggestions are really, they're all good. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. What we did with the mission and vision statement is we had the original that we worked on, and then we tried to take the ideas from it and give an option 2. So that is what we gave for recommendation. We've taken a lot of input from the board, and we looked at the strategic plan. And as far as to get working on this and get planning, this is going to be a lot of work. This is an umbrella of what we need to do as a district, as a guide, but the work, it's going to be a lot of planning. So the process, I don't know if the idea of contacting me individually about things. We've had a process in place where people were emailing me and I try to get that out to the board. So maybe if that's where we go, Mr. Grace, people could send suggestions to me if they haven't already. So if you want to say, and then we can send that out again for people, because I think that may be a little way. I feel more comfortable with that way. But if the board would like the vision and mission statement to address that this evening, I would encourage you to do so. Because once we have a vision and mission statement, I can next bring the board policy back with those changes. We have a first reading in our next meeting, and then from that we can put on the website. So.
I am comfortable making the motion for that, for the mission statement to be as stated in Mr. Simmons' recommendation, and for the mission statement to be as stated in Ms. Ford's statement. I think that encompasses, as Ms. Ford said, it encompasses all of the suggestions in a more concise language that, I think that if Ms. Huckabee and Ms. Carroll were here, they would probably agree as well. But I can withdraw my motion to table it and make a motion to approve that, those 2 things, our vision and mission.
But I'm seeing that, that's the vision statement Mr. Simmons put, to be a community of leaders who facilitate community learning. Okay, could I see Ms. Ford's mission statement again, please? I'm having a hard time reading that.
You know what, I might have even flip-flopped it, or it might have been, why don't we, if everyone's okay with this, can we read Mr. Simmons' statement and Mrs. Forrest's statement for each of those? Does anyone have a?
I can see it. It says Flossmoor School District 161, in collaboration with all stakeholders, implements fair and challenging learning experiences for all students that provide the foundation for independent and innovative thinking.
Okay, that's the one I was.
Okay, so that would be John Simmons' mission.
John Simmons' mission.
Okay.
His suggestion.
And then Ms. Horvath says for the mission, it would be School District 161 works to create a strong community of young leaders in an environment that is safe, diverse, and challenging for all students. In partnership with our community of stakeholders, our mission is to provide critical thinking skills as a necessary set of tools to help prepare students for college and beyond.
They're both good. Then the vision.
Vision.
You know what, I'm sorry, what's my original remembrance was correct. It was Mr. Simmons' vision statement and it was Ms. Wilson.
Mission, that's what my motion was.
The only thing I would consider, if that's what the board would like to go on, if we put in this board real quick, I just have a question.
You want her vision or vision?
I want a mission, if that's what the board's deciding on. Ms. Horvath, when you have prepare students for college and beyond, I think you're tying in the Common Core, I'm assuming college and career readiness. Okay. What do we feel about maybe adding for high school, college and beyond? Would you be opposed to that? Because our goal is to get money. We want it to be college, but high school is not. So if we're okay with those two, with the rest of the board, I would really appreciate it if we could have those approved tonight. And I'll get moving on the policy and bring a first reading back at the committee of the whole meeting, that we can go ahead and put that on our website at the end of this, or by the end of this week.
Okay, so I will then revise my call for motion. I call for motion then to accept Mr. Simmons' version of the vision statement and Ms. Forth's version of the mission statement with the addition of high school, for high school, comma, college, and beyond. Second? Mrs. Marino?
Okay, Marks?
No.
Odom? Yes. Simmons?
Yes.
Forrest? Yes. Paredes?
Yes, the motion has passed, and I now call for a motion to table the other portions of the recommended strategic plan until the next meeting.
Second.
Mrs. Marino?
Okay, Marks?
The motion is to table the discussion of the strategic plan.
Yeah, the rest of this
No.
minus the vision and mission.
Okay, Odom? Yes. Simmons?
No.
Forrest? Yes. Paredes?
Yes, the motion is passed. Next on the agenda is the approval of resolution regarding hazardous bus routes.
So will the strategic plan discussion occur at a committee of the whole or a board meeting? Just trying to figure out when the discussion is going to occur.
At the committee of the whole. And then we can have a special board meeting planned for afterwards by which we can approve. be agreed upon.
Thank you.
Sure. Resolution regarding hazardous bus routes as presented.
So moved.
Mrs. Marino?
Simmons?
Good question, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Is this, this appears to be SOP, correct? There's no add-ins this year or anything like that?
There is an add-in, it's the Flossmoor route, so that we're reimbursed the one at Village Drive that we addressed last year.
That we secured reimbursement for,
Yes.
that's included here, and now it falls into the standard operating procedure.
That's correct.
Do we have anything else up there in the wings that,
We went through everything very thoroughly last year. I can't say there's nothing out there in the future, but right now we're comfortable.
okay, thank you.
Mrs. Marino?
Okay. Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
Okay. Oden? Yes. Sparks?
Yes.
Ford? Yes. Paredes?
Yes. The motion has passed. Next on the agenda, we have approval of lunch fees. I call for a motion to approve the increase for paid lunch to $2.70 from the current price of $2.65 as presented. Mrs. Hart? Mrs. Oden? Mr. Simmons?
Could you give us a 30-second brief on this issue?
Again, it was not on our last fees approval. We were waiting for a calculation as far as the national food system was, and our calculation came out, the recommendation from them is $2.70 is what we need to charge.
The district will charge amount that is 5 cents greater than the amount we have charged to this point.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Mrs. Marino?
Ford? Yes. Oden?
Yes.
Simmons?
Yes.
Marks?
Yes.
Paredes?
Yes. And the motion has passed. Next on the agenda, we have the first reading of policy 4:65, capitalization threshold policy. I call for a motion for the first reading of policy 4:65, capitalization threshold.
So moved.
Mrs. Marino, roll call.
Okay. Ford? Yes. Oden? Yes. Marks?
Yes.
Simmons?
Yes.
Paredes?
Yes, and the motion has passed. At this time, we will go to executive session for matters relating to personnel 5 ILCS 120/2C1 and student discipline 5 ILCD 120/2C9. Mrs. Odo? Mrs. Hall? Motion passed.